Howdy, folks, and welcome to episode 132. Here we are again. So, we are waiting for McMurray to show up at some point. Should be soon. Reese will not be with us tonight. He is dealing with turkeys. He's moving birds, as it were. Literally, he's moving the flock. He's getting the flock out of here. So, hopefully he didn't get kicked in the junk too many times. And speak of the devil, there's Mr. McMurray now. How you doing, buddy?
What's up?
Good to hear from you, sir.
I'll be inside at the painting table momentarily.
Okay. I was just letting folks know that you will be here, but Reese won't because he's moving birds tonight.
What?
So, yeah. He's literally getting the flock out of here. So, but that's okay. He has been pretty active on getting some stuff done hobby wise. He just picked up his copy of Undaunted Battle of Britain.
Reached
and
it?
Yeah.
No.
And is in the process of setting up early war South Pacific American and Japanese fighters for the game.
Nice.
So he's doing the Cactus Air Force, U.S. Army Air Corps, or not U.S. Army Air Corps, U.S. Navy Air Assets at Guadalcanal. So
I thought Army Air Corps got there to, or am I thinking? I'm thinking of Midway. My bad. Never mind.
Yeah.
Disregard. Teeny tiny little islands on the Pacific with planes on them.
Yeah, exactly. So, now, of course, we start a vast majority of these shows talking about what's going on over at Wiley Games, and right now, 25% off all downloadable items.
Yeah, dude.
That's for, you only have until tomorrow. You only have until tomorrow to do it. But right now, literally everything that you can download off that website is 25% off. That's all the core. That's all the rule books. That's the campaigns, the cards, the scenarios. If it's on there and you can click on the button and receive it immediately, it gets a 25% discount.
It is also for the downloadable STLs, which is pretty awesome.
Yes, it is. So,
like the objective markers and the speeder and stuff. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And they've just put out 2 new 99-cent scenarios for a little Halloween in your black powder. They've got Prey, a Xeno scenario for horse and musket, and Carpathia comes to Catalonia, a horror scenario for horse and musket. So if you like a little bit of ghouls with your muskets and swords, then that's the way to go.
Or looking at you, Warmutt and Warmutt sort of people.
Yeah, exactly. So at 3:23 today, Reese did come in and says, "Y'all better keep me entertained tonight. These birds are lousy company, but they gobble at all my jokes."
Yikes.
And then Miguel came in about 2 hours later with a thumbs up. And then right before we started, he gave us a hi, Reese. Richard Keenan's in the house with evening, everyone. Charles comes in, evening to all. Meandering Mike gives the greetings. As a Scala Gremlin with an evening all. And Telemachus with a hello, peeps. So howdy, folks. Thanks again for joining. It's great to have y'all here. So, what I have been working on for the last week, I made a promise to McMurray.
Oh shit! Oh yeah,
that I would get all of the Australian Navy done. And I will confess, I didn't get all the ships. I got all the classes done, but I did not create a sheet for each of the destroyers. But there is a version of those destroyers that you can print off and rename if you wanted to. Now, if you want me to, I will go in and name all of them. Create named sheets for all.
I wouldn't worry about that. Don't worry about that, man. You're doing great. I was going to say, I think you said you were working on the Canadians now.
Done.
The Canuckistanis are done?
Yes. Yep, they're done also.
Oh, man. Look at this guy. He's cranking stuff out like crazy.
Now, for Eric, I do need to get Massachusetts done, but I've been wanting to pair that because each 8.5 by 11 sheet can have 2 ships on it. I wanted to pair that with another ship that fits with the Massachusetts theme. So I got to figure out which other ship I want to add in there to be able to give to him. I would say Astoria, but I've already got Astoria on another sheet because of Astoria, Massachusetts.
What class is Big Mamie in?
She is a South Dakota class.
Okay, that's what I thought. What about trying another South Dakota? Or did Big Mamie undergo a refit?
Not really. And we lost him. He's switching over. He's switching over, guys. Go For It Painting is here saying hello. Hello, Go For It. Glad you could join us. Thank you. No, Massachusetts did not get a real major refit. What I might do for him is give him the sister ship South Dakota. As I was saying,
sorry about that.
That's okay. Massachusetts didn't get a real big refit enough to cause a different chart, but although they're South Dakota, Massachusetts, Indiana, and one other, and I can't remember off the top of my brain right now which one it is, which is horrible of me. But the South Dakota was actually different than the other 3 in the class. So
correct.
Instead of having
also
5-inch gun turrets, go ahead. You were saying?
I said also very, very drastically different than the originally planned South Dakota class. But yes,
very much so.
Keep going.
But whereas Indiana and Massachusetts and Alabama, that's it. Alabama have 5-inch gun turrets on each side, port and starboard. She only had 4, with the middle turret being removed to fledge out the flag officer area. She was designed specifically to be a flagship. So additional wardrooms and staterooms for admirals, et cetera, and so forth. So although hull-wise, main battery-wise, superstructure-wise, they look identical, if you look close enough between the South Dakota and Massachusetts, Indiana, and Alabama, she's missing those 2 5-inch gun mounts.
You might do that on the same sheet. That way you've got both variants of the South Dakota class.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I mean,
it's a pretty simple, swap, but at the same time, it'd be worth it so that A, it would be convenient, and B, it'd be helpful to remember. Oh yeah, okay, hang on.
Exactly. So I've been working on those. I have started working on figuring out how I'm going to handle night combat. I think I've got it I think I've got it figured out. I just got to get it written in. Once I do get it written in, I'll get it posted up for anybody that wants to take a look. Remember, that's on the Not J Discord server. If you are not currently on the Not J Discord server and you would like to be on the Not J Discord server, let me know. I'll post the Discord link here in chat. So I'm real close to thinking I'm going to have that figured out. I'll probably work on getting that written up in the next day or two, and be able to have that posted up here shortly. I have also go ahead.
No, you're good. Keep going.
I've also been cleaning up my Ozzy 1/600 scale stuff that my brother got for me. So not only did I get a crap ton of helicopters and M151 mutts with various weapons on them, I also got a pack of M113s with infantry. I've got basically a platoon of infantry with it's actually a platoon plus one squad or one fire team of infantry in the prone position each, and I'll show it to y'all. I'll make myself bigger here. So that is what we're looking at here. I've got 10 of these. So it's each one of those equals a fire team. So I've got 3 fire teams plus an extra. So that's 1 platoon plus an extra. I also have got 5 dragon launcher dudes. Oh, crap. If you're not careful, these things can fall on your keyboard and you'll be lost forever.
Correct.
Damn it. There we go. So we got 5 dragon launcher dudes. And then 5 for this time frame, they're probably going to be M60 machine gun with an A gunner. So I got all of that along with 14 M113 A1s. And then I've got a total of 15 M106. No, it is a total of 15 M113s. I do have 15 of them. And then I've got 15 M106 M125s. They're essentially the same thing. One is an 81 millimeter mortar. The other is a 4-deuce mortar. At this scale, you really can't tell the difference. Let's be honest. So it looks like I got 15 of those also. So yeah, everything's come together real nice. My brother is running a redo of his J3 game weekend. Now, the reason why it's called J3 is it's for Jay's July Jamboree. And it just so happens that Thursday night that it started back in July, he had a house fire. Everybody's safe. Everybody's okay. There was some damage to the house, but it is going to get repaired. But because of that, obviously, he couldn't spend a whole lot of time, being a part of that because he was dealing with, insurance adjusters and the cleanup crews and whatnot. So what he has decided to do is he has decided to have a redo this November. So we're going to have J3 in, and which is J3 in November for, obviously. And I am thinking of using my 6mm stuff to play test my Cold War veneer of Battlesuit Alpha to see how it works. Maybe it'll work good, maybe it won't. Don't know until you try it, right?
Correct.
So after I get my night rules written up and out for people to look at, I'm going to refocus on getting the cards for the units for the U.S. Army versus the Warsaw Pact forces completed, and get those up and going. So
what are you looking at? Any specific part of the Warsaw Pact?
Specifically, the stuff I've got painted up is Czechoslovakians.
Okay.
Is the reason for that is eventually in both 6mm and 3mm, I am going to have an EM50, which is the
Urban Assault
GMC, the Urban Assault Vehicle from
nice.
the 1983 documentary Stripes.
Nice.
So because I want to be able to roll that, be able to roll that son of a bitch out, and people are like, "What the hell? What is this?" If you know, you know.
Nice.
So, but they can also just be, generic Warsaw Pact. Now, I say that all my 6mm stuff is painted up in that fashion, along with the fact that I've got the Czechoslovak / Polish APCs. Hey, Hexy, how you doing, buddy? Good to hear from you.
What's up, Jiffy?
So,
that'll be pretty cool. So, what are your main because I feel like your focus is armored fighting vehicles, right?
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
I will have infantry. But it won't be the main focus of what I'm doing.
Yeah,
obviously.
I mean with Battlesuit Alpha, it's hard to have. Honestly, it's hard to have even tanks be your main focus. But I feel like with a little bit of fleshing out, it certainly does that job well.
Yeah. Yeah, and really what I'm gonna what I'm gonna do is see if Battlesuit Alpha just works better in concept than for what I'm doing over the use of bigger battles.
Yeah.
So
I gotcha.
The Chris Long says, "Hello all, how's it going? Just outside using a bench sander to sand my 1/700 scale naval bases for the winter building." So there you have it.
It's almost already winter up there, isn't it, Chris?
Shit, I heard it snowed on the 3rd of July up there.
Exactly. Yikes.
Not really, though.
Big yikes. Hell, it may have. I am currently gluing down some shipwreck sort of figures So, looking at Wiley War Games weekend, I decided to go a little bit goofier this year, but at the same time, can't go all the way goofy, right? Like that would be absurd. But what I was looking at
Yeah.
doing was taking a bunch of figures that are designed to be sailors climbing rigging, right? Which I had a bunch of these. Let's put it this way. I have done this project once before. Where this project currently is, I don't actually know. But because of that, I got a bunch of 28 millimeter sailors climbing rigging from Old Glory and cut them all in half at the waist at relatively even angles, not entirely even angles, but relatively even angles, such that I then got 15 sailors swimming in water from the top and 15 sailors struggling in water from the bottom. I do not
Nice.
have any idea where the first because I did this once before for a shark game, right?
Yeah.
Where I took the guys who looked like they were swimming and struggling above water, and then we cut up. I mean, I think I got from like CRM or something like that, or East Riding. I think they were East Riding. Makes a line of like fins.
Yeah.
And I made a bunch of fins, and then we came up with just a stupidly simple game where you played a shark.
Nice.
Fun game, entertaining, had a good time. That being said, the flip side of that is that the whole game's worth of miniatures fit in, a box that could hold a film canister for an old camera film.
I was about to say, if you're not using a tackle box, you're wrong.
Well, so the issue is, I made this. It was super cool. It was a compact game that I could fit with, the dice that it needed right into an old small box, which was awesome because storage, especially when in my old living situation, was at an absolute premium. The issue, of course, is that now I have no goddamn idea where that is.
Where it went to?
Yeah, luckily, I'm now
it happens.
Grown, semi-functioning adult with, some disposable income. So I was able to spend the $12 again to get the same pack. And I am in the process of recreating those miniatures. Honestly, though, the biggest pain in the dick was just sawing all these damn figures in half.
Right.
I don't know what I did the first time, but I feel like it was a whole lot less of a pain in the ass, or I would have said, screw this. But
well, keep in mind you were younger at the time.
I was younger at the time. I think that was one of the first or second things I ever got with when I got my Old Glory Army membership the first time. Right? Because I always wanted to play naval games, and it was kind of one of those, naval games can be rather cost prohibitive because of the boats and stuff.
Right.
And so I think I originally got these figures thinking, okay, I'll get a boat from somewhere and then I'll be able to play with these. And then it turned into no, we're not doing that. So I ended up cutting them in half, and yeah. But so now I've got the guys that sit on top, as well as, because now I obviously have both sides, as well as the undersides. So we are taking all of the models that I waterlined so I have a bunch of 1/100 scale models that perfectly fit with 15 millimeter miniatures that I built and then cut to waterline to play great big Age of Sail games with. And I have all the hulls from that were left after I cut them to waterline. So we're painting those up. like they're the underside of ships. And then I'm going to use all of these here. Hang on. Let me show you what I mean. No, not audio. Come on.
So while you're looking at that, Skylar Gremlin says it's always winter up there. You cross the 49th and it's just igloos and polar bears as far as the eye can see. That Chris Long says leaves are falling, but in some areas we have had a tiny bit of snow in the mountains. And then Guaya says Pingu is the national bird of Canada. And then Hexy said, I thought it was the Nguyen Schneevogel.
Nguyen snowbird. There you go. Yeah.
Chris Long says laughing my ass off our national bird shit in my backyard on the way to attack the U.S. He says honk honk attack on the way south.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Cobra chickens need to go fuck right off. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not a fan of Canadian geese, man. Canadian geese are kind of dicks.
So not to be that guy, but the breed, or the not the breed, but the I guess you could say breed. The species of goose is Canada goose. They're only Canadian if they have green cards.
That said, they're from Canada, thus they are Canadian. I realize that their genus is
right.
Their name is the Canada goose, but they're from Canada. They're dicks. They're Canadian.
So they're Canadian.
Correct.
Oh yeah, you betcha, don't you know?
Except for they never say sorry, and they're always assholes. They never bring any beer, and that being said,
then Guaya Chris, there's no can. They are very aggressive. They're assholes, man.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the only bird I've actively fought.
Yeah, because if you had fought Reggie, he would have pulled a knife on you.
Accurate. That turkey would have stabbed me. But like, so when I lived in Fulton, right, just outside of Jefferson City, our state capital, and Columbia, for those of you who are paying attention to the SEC and whatnot, where Mizzou's at, there's a college that used to be a women's college that's now just a college called William Woods, where they are super proud of these damn Canada geese. Like, they'll like fine you if you're a student and you like mess with the geese and shit. The issue is, that means these geese think they're like, you know, God's gift to everything, and just terrorize this town of Fulton because, you know, where they, you know, usually hang out and live, nobody messes with them. But the issue is they're aggressive, they're dicks, and they will just straight up try and steal your crap, get into your car. Like, no, we're not playing that nonsense. I have kicked and thrown and done all kinds of stuff to far too many Canada geese. I'm not a fan. Wrangling birds is a Reese only topic. That's not me, man.
Right. And Reese is here with us by messaging. And Nguyen says, while I've been biking, they've chased me many times. And then Reese says McMurray was right about Reggie pulling a knife on you. And Chris Long will be back as soon as he's finished cleaning up his tools. And Nguyen says they're everywhere along the Rideau Canal. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or not. Probably not. And then there were a few U.S. Army Air Force P-400 Air Cobras on Cactus Air Force. So there was some U.S. Air Force or some Army Air Corps aircraft there on Guadalcanal.
There you go. Shit.
Well, I'll tell you who knew. Reese did.
McMurray did. All right, hang tight. I was about to say, I forgot and started gluing the next batch of these cut in half sailors. But my point is, I think for J3, or not J3, maybe J3 also, Wiley War Games weekend, which is Wiley War Games Saturday now, I may run some sort of shark attack game, or since it's a spooky theme, and I'm picking up these spooky dooky ACW guys, I might do spooky dooky ACW. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but.
So I'm up in the air as to whether I'm going to be able to make it to Wiley Wargaming Saturday. Because the previous weekend, I'm going to be in Kansas City for the Kansas City Renaissance Festival.
You're driving all the way to Kansas City for a Renaissance Festival, and St. Louis has theirs like last weekend, this weekend, and next weekend?
Yeah, because my friends that I go to the Renaissance Festival with don't go to the St. Louis Renaissance Festival. They go to the Kansas City Renaissance Festival on
there you
that
go.
weekend.
That's fair. When Totally Lost is playing, say hi for me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But since it is just Saturday now, we might skate out after work on Friday. That Friday, and come in late, and because I thought it was still Friday night and Saturday. But
I believe it's just a
Saturday. If it's just Saturday, I might be able to convince Donna to head back over there. Just a mere 5 days later.
That's fair. More power to you.
She'll get time to spend. She'll get to have time to spend with the kids.
That's true.
So, but,
all right, here we go. So, ignoring again the Zouaves that are in the background, you've got guys swimming, as well as the underside of guys that then shark models will similarly be mounted upside down. So you'll be looking at the body of your shark or the belly of your shark figure, and then the undersides of these boat hulls as well. But I just need to paint them up, which shouldn't be too bad. But again, the question is, do I paint these up real quick for the second week of October, or do I just keep hammering away on this ACW stuff? There's a bunch of 15 millimeter ACW vampires and whatnot. So we got guys painted up like the stereotypical evil Southern gentleman over here. Boop, boop. And they're all white and whatnot. And then there are some Union cavalry, including some guys that are still wearing their Union suits. You can see the red, a bunch of Confederate infantry and artillerists that I painted. Then where am I looking here? Oh, God. Excuse the mess. We've got some of my Confederate zombies up here. Some more Union infantry. There is necromancer. I'm trying to get it to go wide. There you go. There's Headstone Jackson, the Confederate necromancer who's in charge of these zombies. They're still wearing their butternut and whatnot because, the Confederacy needed to solve their manpower problems. And there you go.
Right.
Got some more Union infantry, some bushwhacker cavalry, some British intervention forces over here, including these two random stands. I don't know why they're down there. And then a Union colonel right there. So, they need to be based, and then all of these go into we're painting for Mini War Much Challenge, buddy. So not all these will. Like half of these will. But yeah. Yep. So
outstanding.
And then we got these guys and all these Zouaves. Holy Zouaves. I'm sorry, so all these guys were not done. Sorry, all those guys that I just showed you in that box top were not done for Mini War Much Challenge. These Confederate infantry, those Union cavalry, and these guys are all for the Mini War Much Challenge, as well as those bad Confederate vampires and whatnot. Ignore the other random stuff that's in here. Those are just random Reaper miniatures that appeared at my house because, stuff and things. I also check this out. You'll appreciate this one. So I do have obviously some boats for ACW, right? Because of course I
Yeah.
have some small boats for ACW. Given that small river-sized boats in the ACW were usually on the Mississippi, in the process of cutting this guy in half so that I can have one that's
nice.
his mouth coming out and one that's his tail going down into the water. This is a cool miniature from Reaper called Gulper. It's a giant catfish. Like, look at the size of this thing compared to these 15
Oh, yeah.
mils.
I mean, I've seen some that big.
It's the Mississippi. Yeah, like that's understandable. But God, I don't know what is inside of this stupid model. Cutting this thing in half is 18 shades of unpleasant, man. Like using a razor saw, this is a struggle. There's not really a good place to clamp it in anything. I am real close to taking this thing out, putting on some great big heavy gloves and taking my miter saw to this thing, just and cutting through it. But yeah, mainly because I need to make this cut and then I need to make a beveled cut.
Yeah.
On this angle and then on this angle here. So who knows? We'll see. We'll see.
You're talking about you're talking about Confederate boats or Civil War.
Yeah, so I've
vehicle.
got some steam launches.
Yeah, I do have this one.
Yeah, mine are for 15 mil though. I also have a ton of small scale ironclads, like far too many to be honest with you. I don't even really play anything that uses 1/600 scale ironclads.
I don't know how I came about getting this model, but I did.
It looks like one of the 1/600 thoroughbreds.
It is.
Oh, okay.
Huh. Yeah. And it was I painted up I think 12 years ago.
Looks good, man. I like it.
No other reason than why the hell not, you know? It's actually it is the Virginia.
Yeah.
CSS Virginia the former Merrimack. Yep. I've thought about getting the monitor and painting it up and just, having the two of them because,
Yep.
But
these are my boats.
Ninguaya says, I have a wonderful laugh. I get it from my father. We have very similar laughs. And Ninguaya says, catfish is so tasty.
Those are my boats in miniatures for scale. So some of them have a spar torpedo mounted on them that's extendable. A couple of them don't. And then there is a tug as well.
Very cool. Very cool.
Again, nothing big, but certainly enough for Mr. Gulper to play heck with them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Think of it like a muddy water Jaws.
At that size, he's about the same scale to boats as the orcas that are beating the hell out of sailboats. You've heard about that, right?
Yep. See, what I'm going to do, though, is so Quint's boat in Jaws was the orca, right?
What's that? Yeah. The name of the boat in, yes. Yeah, it was orca.
So that's what this steamboat's going to be, or this tug is going to be named, is the orca.
Oh, okay.
I'll get that painted on the boathouse. But yeah, I don't know. There's certainly some goofiness that can be brought in. I think what I might actually use for rules wise for this is Rebels and Patriots, and do the fantastic adaptation done by John over Joy of Wargaming, where he uses half stands. So he'll use 6 and 3 instead of 12 and 6.
Yeah.
And then you just use a single casualty marker next to them to indicate, okay, so one of these stands as a partial. Because I know that those guys really like the Rampant Rule series.
Right.
And so it shouldn't be, and they're also all familiar with it, so it should be a relatively simple kind of transition there, you know? But yeah. Okay. It's time to get to painting and working, but I need to bring some of my paints back over here. So are you hobbying on those 1/300s, Chris, or are you on the 6 mil stuff, or are you just still kind of cleaning up and working on them?
Well, my 1/600 scale stuff I've had done since before we moved to Illinois, down in
No, I
Texas.
mean your full.
Yeah, yeah. So, I have not. I've been cleaning up the models that Jay got me, and have come to the determination that I do need to scale down the M113s that I'm going to be printing. Yeah, probably by a good 10%.
Oh, that's fair.
Because they're a lot. They're almost an 1/8 inch, well, almost a 16th inch wider, and about a 16th inch shorter than the Oswald Lazenby models that I have.
Like they're wider but shorter. Could you just tinker with a couple of the dimensions to get something that you need, or is it just a simply different scaling that, like a different entire
yeah? So they're wider, and actually they're wider and longer. So the models that I am printing, or that I have printed, are wider and longer than the 1/300th or the 1/600th scale from Oswald Lazenby. So I think I can just dog them down in all dimensions by about a 16th of an inch and be good.
And they'll be kind of close enough at that point.
Yeah.
Okay. I was about to say, that always kills me when I have 3D printed stuff that I found after already having a part of a collection. Maybe it's just from back in the day. And then I have 3D printed models that I found that I can print, but they are sculpted entirely differently, right? Whether that's
right.
Because sometimes that really is as simple as, well, okay, so it's a different style, but sometimes one of the two legitimately is scaled incorrectly in some dimension.
Yeah.
And that's the really frustrating part. Luckily with 3D printing, especially at that scale, you can kind of monkey with it and not see where the details get a little distorted.
Right.
Right? Because a lot of times when you're 3D printing, it can really get to you. If one of the details gets pulled one way or the other way, then all of a sudden it's, oh God, that's terrible, right? But when it's that small,
exactly,
it's not a problem. Like if your rope is a little fatter in one dimension than the other, you can't see it anyways. You know what I mean? If your axe handle is a little screwy, who gives a shit? But yeah, because that can really, I don't know, it trips me up all the time. It screws with me.
Yep, exactly. So that's, I need to start printing again. And the thing is, once I figure out the percentage that it's being reduced down from its original size, I'll do the same thing with the M60s, because they both start off as at 1/100th scale.
Well, that's the thing with those. again, because those Oswald Osman models aren't necessarily models as much as they are figures, if that makes sense.
Right.
So, I mean, it might be worth looking at one of the M60s that you've got and saying, okay, is this, you know what I mean? How far off are we here? Because it's entirely possible that your M60s are going to line up pretty perfectly.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'll before I make that decision, I will, put it up against an M60 that I already have.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So, but like I said, the thing is if it does need to be smaller, um, because it lines up with as they're called '08 models, Pico Armor. I don't have to dick around with it. I can just reduce it by the same percentages I've reduced the M113s.
Yeah,
because they started out at the same at full scale at 100%. They're at the same scale because the two STLs that I have are from the same designer.
correct. Which is always
So
super duper helpful.
yeah. Now I have decided for infantry, which I'm not really going to do a whole lot of, just enough to flesh out the mech infantry units. And for the helicopters, I am going to just order from Ozzy Osmi or from Pico Armor
There you go.
because
3D printing that
I
shit
can,
is a disaster.
oh yeah, especially when you're dealing with when you're dealing with guys that are literally a quarter of an inch long.
A quarter of an
You
inch
know,
is obscenely high for that. I mean, they should be almost a tenth of an inch tall.
well, no, they're
Like,
no.
because
I'm talking about with them laying down. They
yeah, I
are.
mean, bottom of foot to top of head, they should be right around 3 millimeters. Like, it's a little over a tenth of an inch. Like, it's ridiculous. Like 6 mil stuff is about a quarter of an inch long or tall. You're half again there.
Yeah.
But anyhow, that doesn't matter. It's just
Six of
yeah,
one, half dozen the other.
it's frustrating to try and get that
Yeah, it's
figured in. I absolutely understand that.
yeah, it's I'm not because I'm not going to really. I mean, I looks like I can get a pack of infantry and well, I think I can get a pack. Well, I can get 8 helicopters for $5.
The
And I
infantry are
need what?
obscenely cheap also.
Yeah, you get 15 stands of infantry for $5. So
Yeah,
not
they are
really.
very budget friendly. Everything from
Yeah,
Ozzy Odds Me
Pico Armor.
or Pico Armor is incredibly budget
Yeah,
friendly. Like directly
exactly.
ordering from Ozzy Osmi in the US isn't, but Pico Armor tends to keep a pretty good stock on hand.
Yeah.
It's really not bad.
So
yeah,
like you can get stand up infantry. Yeah, 15. It says 15 pieces, and I think that's 15 strips of 5 guys.
correct. Yeah, I was
So
about to say most of the time they come in
it's 75 dudes for $5.
Exactly. Yep. It's quite budget and hobby friendly. Again, some of my favorite projects I've ever done are 2 millimeter. Like I really enjoyed doing that 2 millimeter ACW stuff. Granted, from there or with that, I really like for like rank and flank stuff. The Ozzy Osmi figures are cool, except for that you'd have to put a ton of guys. You'd have to use a huge base and put a ton of guys because they tend to sculpt each figure like standing alone on a strip.
Yeah.
I really like how Irregular with their 2 mil range does them in blocks. So it looks like they're standing shoulder to shoulder. I really enjoy that. So that's usually how I mess around with my 2 mil rank and flank. Right? So like my 2 mil ACW, my 2 mil Napoleonics are all, honestly, they're the same figures. But that's
who's going to tell the difference between a 2 millimeter, the difference between somebody that's kitted out for Europe in 1812 and someone who's kitted out for North America in 1863.
Yeah, fun fact, nobody I play with. So
yeah,
perfect. But yeah, that's my point is that. But that's a really easy and fun way to make. Like when I'm playing Live Free or Die with that, it's cool because you're supposed to each unit represents a brigade, and so then you have these stands that are blocks of figures, and it looks like they're obviously understrength, but it looks like they're little regiments standing there. I don't know. I enjoy how it looks.
Yeah. So Scout Gremlin says, when you spend as long as I have trying to convince her that it's 9 inches, getting bogged down arguing a quarter versus a tenth seems trivial.
Accurate. I think, Scally, you're probably the only person here who even stands a fighting chance of convincing anyone of 10 inches. The rest of us are using different units entirely.
Niguea says, you, sir, all the best die rolls to you.
Yeah.
No. I tell you, I'm also excited about what Reese is planning on doing with Cactus Air Force and Undaunted Battle of Britain. Him going in and creating a deck for it, or an American deck and a Japanese deck. I'm really excited about the prospect there. Because the game is really fun. Now, the thing to know about Undaunted Battle of Britain is that do not go in thinking that you're going to get some great what's the word I'm looking for? You're not going to get a bullet for bullet, panel for panel recreation of air combat. It just isn't there. But what it is, it's a fun game that has the right feel, which is exactly the type of gaming I like to do. It makes you feel like I'm flying around over the coast of Britain, fighting Spitfires and Messerschmitts and FW-190s, etc. So the fact that he is going to take the time and effort to put together the U.S. versus Japan is really exciting to me. So, looking good on that.
It's always one of those things What's up?
What's that? No, go ahead.
I was just saying that's always one of those things that I've had to take my hats off to people for when they take that jump and they start doing the not necessarily home brewing stuff, but coming up with stats in a system where stat generation isn't always provided. Sometimes they do it really haphazardly. I know Reese. I know that's not what Reese is doing.
Right.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. Just like you and Copeland farting around with stats for whatchamacallit, for Ocean Thunder. Outstanding.
Yeah. Miguel said, just finished moving the Russian Second Army around in hopes of protecting Warsaw. before the Germans unleash a ton of grief. The stream is great for this, for me to get some more table time in. Oh, outstanding.
Hey man,
Oh,
we
what
got to
game
be
are you
good for
playing?
something.
Exactly. That's um, what game are you playing there, Ninguaya? Let us know.
I think Big
Um,
Hefe over there is playing Ukraine 43, so we got a lot of Eastern Front stuff going on right now.
I don't know. Maybe if I played a game, um, I might get more interested into it. I don't know. I've never been East Front stuff. Just doesn't toast my goats, as my brother would say. It didn't. I don't know. Just something about Russia, der Weltkrieg, kind of. All right. Not knowing what der Weltkrieg is, you do you.
It's World War. It's World War One. It's a big game.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's yeah.
Um,
He's been posting videos and stuff of that.
yeah. So I just, like I said,
Good stuff, buddy.
I don't know. I've never gotten into the East Front for whatever reason. I'm not one of these guys that thinks, oh, the Americans are the ones who won the war, but I'm also the type of guy that it makes my teeth itch whenever somebody says, well, the Soviets would have won the war by themselves. No, we're not going to go. We're not going to go down that path.
Yeah, we're going to fight. We're going to fight.
But no, just understand that that's not a thing.
I was about to say, by all means, if anybody's feeling froggy, come at me. You're welcome for Lend-Lease. Rest of the world, congratulations.
Yeah, exactly. He's been playing the same game since March of 2021. I'm a bit pokey. Yeah. Oh, you know what? That's okay.
Buddy, that is some dedication that most of us can only dream about.
And you don't have cats or kids. Because it was literally the same game with the same setup. You don't have cats or kids.
You very well may. It's just maybe he keeps the door shut. But
I keep the door shut and I still have a cat in here tonight.
Yeah, but that's your fault. You left the cat in there.
Hi, baby. How are you?
It's not like Clark or Kent or whichever one of the 800 fucking cats you have because you're a crazy old cat lady. Was able to open the door by themselves and get in. You let them in there. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But
actually, I opened the door and Corey darted in.
Well, kick it. Kick right back out of there.
Ninguaya says he's got 80% of a cat. He's missing a leg and a tail.
Well, there you go. I'd imagine that makes it pretty hard for him to get up on tables very reliably. There you go.
Yeah.
But
it's okay. Everybody, say hi to Corey. Corey, say hi to everybody. Okay,
hello,
we'll put you back down.
But yeah, it's damn impressive that he's kept at it for this long.
He's got a yard cat like Jay's got yard dogs.
There you go.
They're 3 feet. You did hear that his other Australian Shepherd is now a 3-legger also.
Jay's?
Yeah, he's got 2 Australian Shepherds that both have 3 legs now.
Yeah, what the hell's going on with that?
So, Pippa, the other Australian Shepherd, was being boarded at another friend's house, and she got away and was gone for 3 or 4 or 5 days. Came back with a broken leg and some pretty foul wounds. And I won't go into any great detail, but the pin didn't set when the doctor went to fix the leg. It didn't work, so they decided to just cut off her leg. And the first Australian Shepherd that they found him with the leg had previously been broken and had not been set at all, and it healed all wonky, and was causing the dog a problem. So they went ahead and lopped his leg off also. So he's got 2 yard dogs. Um, I call them the Australian Fathom Squad because together they got 6 feet.
Makes sense. Well, on the
So,
bright side, that's why the good Lord invented sawzalls. So, get after it, Jay. More power to you.
but it's yeah. So Mando has his front right leg missing, and Pippa has got her rear left leg missing. So they're like,
Oh, they can share a pair of shoes.
yeah, they're opposite, But anywho,
They should rename one of them Dan.
yeah.
Buddy, maybe that's what I need to do for, people are always telling me I need a dog. I should get a 3-legged dog and name it Dan.
There you go.
Jeffy, I think I might be onto something. But then I got to plant a cornfield for him to play in. I don't know, in a peach orchard.
Well, we got the cornfields up here for you, so just bring them on up. And Calhoun County's got peaches, so we got you set. I mean,
there's plenty of peaches around St. Louis. It's just I'd have to plant a peach
Illinois
tree
doesn't
yard.
got much, but we do have corn. Jesus, do we got corn?
Yeah. Missouri's got me set on corn. Thank you. I'm okay.
God, ridiculous.
Nothing wrong with it. It's a good crop.
Oh yeah, it's a great crop, but it's everywhere, man. It's everywhere.
It is everywhere. That it is.
Oh, went to the doctor today. For those keeping track, got my A1C checked. If my diabetes brothers out there are listening, came in at 6.7 for my A1C over the last 3 months. Anything below 7.5 is supposed to be good. My doctor was amazed at where I was with it. Lost 9 pounds in the last 3 months. Yes, and I told him I'd even stopped taking one of the medications because it was too expensive for me. While Donna was not, wasn't working because, well, she's a school, she works at a school, and if you're not working, you don't get paid when you work at a school. So couldn't afford the medication that was supposed to help reduce my go from what was it, 8.7 or 8.6 down to below 7.5, and I came up with 6.9. And I told him it's because I stopped eating snack cakes. That's really that, and I'm eating. We're doing a better job of eating healthier in general, but yeah, the big change is I stopped eating snack cakes. Who'd have thunk, right?
Yeah, who'd have thought that not eating Little Debbie's and shit that like just sugars placed on top of sugars would help you with your blood sugar. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I was thinking, I'm having one snack cake a day. That's That's not going to do
Man,
that
just
much.
imagine if you cut that down to none.
Exactly. Oh, I did. I did cut. I was only having one snack cake a day, and I cut it down to none.
Yep.
And boom. So there you have it, guys. If you need to lower your blood sugar, your A1C, stop drinking full sugared Cokes, and stop eating Little Debbie snack cakes. Well, all snack cakes in general.
Holy shit, is my mind absolutely blown right now. Who would have known? Who would have thunk it?
I know. I know. Who'da thunk? Who'da thunk? So hopefully, with my A1C being, well, like basically non-diabetic, um, I'm still on medication. I still have to have the medication, but I've been taken off of one of them. Hopefully, my peripheral neuropathy will start healing. Um, One thing I have noticed. Hey, Warmut, tacos. There you have it. My
Walmart,
tinnitus
get
is
on.
actually my tinnitus is actually kicked up quite a bit, and my doctor said, "Well, think about this. Here's your nerve. Electrical impulses takes you know the sensory input, whatever it is, whether it's touch, taste, sight, ears, whatever, and sugar has just been weighting it down, and so the impulses have not been flowing as easily. You remove that blood sugar, it starts moving again. So yeah, if you had tinnitus before, you're probably going to notice it even more now. And I am. I right now there is ringing in my ears that I am hearing. Big reason why I have to
Welcome
sleep
back
with a
to the party,
fan
buddy.
on. Yeah,
Welcome
exactly.
back to the party.
Yeah. And I can only assume the reason why I have tinnitus, or tinnitus, or however you're supposed to fucking pronounce it, is the years as younger uh, a younger person, uh, shooting without proper ear protection, and honestly listening to loud rock music.
Probably a lot of that second one.
Yeah,
But yeah.
Reese wants to know, besides South Pacific, what would y'all like to see done?
Let's go for it.
What's that?
I said go for it.
If we can get South Pacific nailed down, I'd really like to see what we could, and it doesn't have to be cross viable, like we want to do with the World War II stuff, but MiG-15s and F-86s, MiG Alley.
Oh Jesus, those are going to be crazy hard to fucking come up with stats for. At least with World War II, you've got a baseline of computation to go with. Damn.
Yeah.
I was about to say something Mediterranean where you've got some of the same stuff with maybe some newer whatnot, or Falcos or something like that. Some of the frog planes over the
add some
Mediterranean.
Italians in there.
Italians and frogs. It's always good when the good guys get to kill Frenchmen.
Right.
That's always a fun time. Like some torch stuff, maybe. Because the world needs to remember that the overwhelming number of Frenchmen were still disgusting fucking collaborators.
Right.
Who then actively fought on the side of the Nazis. So fuck them. The world needs to remember that shit because they don't.
Right.
But anyways, There's the sound of all viewership in France that we may have ever had just closing the window.
Don't care.
Yeah, right.
Do not
Right.
care. Yeah. Reese says he's got the formula, so I guess he either contacted what's his nugget or he figured it out. Mini Warmut says the Peloponnesian War is in the Med. Yes, it is. Technically, it's in the Aegean Sea, which is part of the Mediterranean. But there you have it.
Get after
you
it,
got
Brian.
time enough to you got time enough to type out Peloponnesian. You got time to hop on here.
Accurate. Also, now you know how to pronounce it, so get on.
Yeah. Lots of math and fun graphs. You math people just are insane. My buddy Copeland's like that with math. I just, no thanks. Now, that being said, I've done a whole lot of mathing with Ocean Thunder, but it's a whole lot of copy pasting charts into a spreadsheet that I've done basic averaging with. So Reese says he can do MIGs. So yeah, there we go. But like I said, they don't have to cross it. They don't have to be able to fight against fucking Supermarine Spitfires or anything like that. Just, as long as they're consistent amongst themselves. Telemachus says slide rules forever. Yeah, have those damn things. Blah. I hate math.
What do you say?
Oh. Slide rules forever.
Reese, just hammer on anything that's got P38s in it. Everything with P38s.
Yeah, we want some P38s because we need P38s to be able to shoot down. What was it? The Claude.
ME-262s.
No, the Yamamoto. What was he in?
I don't remember. I can never remember. They got so many weird designations. I hate Japanese World War II aircraft designation, man, because they got two different designation numbers, one for the airframe and the basic mechanics, and the other one for weapons. And then so you got to try and figure that shit out. Then you got to remember who manufactured the damn thing for the prefix. And then you got to try and assign an American name for it. Like, I'm good. I understand why everybody just referred to everything as zeros. Like, this is silliness.
It's like every German gun was an 88.
Well, correct. And like every German tank was a Panther, or was a Tiger. The difference is, like, you've got 8 varieties, really, of German tanks you might have seen in 1943, 44. And, 4 varieties of German fighters you may have seen. The Japanese had different fighters for their Navy, their Air Force, and their Army. Like, come on now, man. Like, just figure it out. Please stop being dicks. Then again, the Japanese not being dicks during World War II isn't their strong suit. But, yeah. Anyhow, don't fuck with our boats, or you get the sun. Here comes the sun. Ba-da-da-da-da. Still sad that didn't play during Oppenheimer, but that's okay.
He was in a Mitsubishi G4M.
What's that?
Which was known.
It's not a Val.
Mitsubishi Navy Type 1 attack bomber. It looks like a 2-engine B-17 or an A-26, but with not with tricycle gear, but tail dragger. What the hell did we call that?
Is that a Nate?
Commonly referred to as pilot as Hamaki. It's the Betty.
Okay, it's a Betty. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, Reese, you were right.
And Betty
It's a
went
Betty.
bloop.
Yeah,
Betty went
Betty
bloop,
bloop.
right into the South Pacific. Bye.
Actually,
This is why you spend money on intelligence. What?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is why you spend money on code breaking. Biatch.
Yeah, so Yamamoto had two of the Betty bombers escorted by 6 Zeros, and they got jumped by 16 P-38s.
Yep.
First Lieutenant Rex T. Barber engaged the first of two Japanese transports, which turned out to be Yamamoto's aircraft. He fired on the aircraft until it began to spew smoke from its left engine. And Barber turned away to attack the other transport as Yamamoto's plane crashed into the jungle. Yeah, so he crashed into Bougainville.
Yeah, 6 seconds.
Oh, yeah, Warmoth's off to eat. That's about right for him. Eat earlier. That's what I do.
He said some goofy shit about tacos like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, it doesn't take me that long to eat tacos. I'm just saying. So, Nguyen says he's never had a slide rule. He wants one. Have fun with that. I wonder if they've got a print and play slide rule. Because that'd be funny. Okay, so on Instructables, they show you how to make one.
How to make what?
A slide rule.
Oh, okay. I mean, I feel like eBay is going to be your best bet just to get that done out of the way.
What the hell is he eating? Fish sticks, green beans, and white rice. Yuck. I'm going to tell him that's not how you're supposed to do sushi.
But whatever, Brian's an odd duck. The big important thing is, well, never mind. I was gonna make an off-color joke about Japanese flyers eating sushi firsthand, or being the sushi that gets eaten by sushi. But yeah, but
so I'm going to share this. Let's see. Share screen. Select Discord.
What are we looking at?
Okay. So, Reese would like to know what we think of that card.
Oh, it's a
just popped up.
Beautiful card.
That is
Beautiful
a good card. let's take a look at an actual Undaunted card.
You should 100% put Dick Bong just on every card, just so that every time you can just say Dick Bong.
Yeah, because, I mean, come on. It's Dick Bong.
Yeah. Not only is he a legitimate fucking hero, but also Dick Bong. You know, Dick Bong.
So that's what he has come up with. And this here is what the actual card looks like. Not too bad. He's done a pretty good job, I think. So, yeah. Reese, I like it. I like it a lot.
Oh, Mr. Reese.
Good show, old boy.
I should say so, Mr. Reese Poo Poo.
So that is the way how you play with your miniature models. So yeah, definitely need to have a Dick Bong. Richard Keenan says, my dad served in the Navy for 30 years. One day when we were unpacking after getting transferred, I found a slide rule. I asked him to teach me how to use, and he said, use a calculator. Slide rules put a man on the moon. You're not lying. And Scal Gremlin says, looks awesome. And Percy Lux says, so did feet and inches, not metric.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But anyhow, we're not going to get into there are far better areas of American exceptionalism to get into than using the imperial system.
Right. We won't discuss we won't discuss how Farva asked for a liter of cola.
Nah, no. I mean, excuse me. I just, in general, like, just there are so many incredible things, inventions to look at that it's not even. I don't know. It's not even funny.
Yeah,
we could talk. Yeah. We could talk just straight out about the M4 Sherman for days and days and days, which would 100% be absolutely worth it. But then inevitably some ding dong comes along and starts herdering about the T-34, which is always a frustrating thing about how that's a marvel of Soviet engineering when it's 100% not. It uses an American suspension, American, excuse me, Jesus, construction method, arguably an American gun. It was built in factories, designed and built by Americans. See Albert Kahn, whoever of you are out there just typing away like a madman before you do. Albert Kahn, get after it. Welcome to the only reason that the Soviet Union had factories of any scale. But anyways, we're not going to get into all that. We could talk, for quite some time about just the absurd number of Jeeps, shoes, foodstuffs, tanks, airplanes, ships, 90% of the actual functional locomotives and a huge amount of the rolling stock in the Soviet Union by the time the war actually gets going. But we're not going to talk about that, Chris. We're not talking about that.
No.
That's not why we're here. We're here to talk about our friend, the stapler. But no. What's up?
Charles LaFleur said he had 2 or 3, not sure what happened to them. And Nguyen says, holy smokes, there are books on how to use it. I went to buy just a slide rule on Amazon and kaboom, tons of books. Maynard Mike said, should we measure the scale of ancient minis in cubits? No, that would be microcubits.
I liked it. But yeah, sure, let's do it, man. Cubits and rods, baby. Cubits and rods.
Yeah. And furlongs.
I like it.
Reese says Dick Bong is going to be his P-38 ace. Your F6F Hellcat ace must be David McCampbell. He had 34 aerial victories and 1 Medal of Honor. Nguyen says meandering Mike without a doubt. Yes, we'll start talking about how tall your Perry miniature Greeks are in microcubits. Totalemica says the best tech is borrowed tech. And Percy says one of the great things we came up with was mobile refrigeration. Spitting straight facts there. So yeah, Reese, make sure that your F6F ace is David McCampbell. Now, I have a tentative connection to him. My first father-in-law was named David McCampbell. He was in the United States Army in World War II, in the, was it 17th Airborne?
I don't know.
Whichever airborne division was in the Pacific getting ready to drop into Tokyo, right? Before we dropped a star on top of them twice.
Sucks to suck.
And they were constantly getting each other's mail. My father-in-law was David P. McCampbell, and the pilot was, I think, David S. McCampbell. I'm sure he flew Wildcats, because I mean he was in war from the Philippine Sea on, so I'm sure he did fly in Wildcats. So yeah. Let me see here. He was he shot down 5 Judy dive bombers during the Marianas Turkey shoot. What are the turkeys doing that are causing you to change a tire, bub? Dudes are pulling knives and slashing tires. They don't want to move. Yeah, Percy Black says, we got the microwave oven out of atomic bombs. So worth it. Absolutely, man. So, yeah, David McCampbell shot down 5 Judy dive bombers, landed, refueled, rearmed, and got back up, and then shot down 2 more Zeros that same day.
Nice.
He shot down 7 airplanes in a single day. That is crazy. And he did that twice. He shot down more than 5 airplanes in a single day twice. The only American pilot to ever do that. That is crazy talk.
I mean, if it works, it works.
Right? Yeah, that was on June 19th, 1944. And then he did it again. Oh, he shot down 9 in October of 1944. 5 zeros, 2 Hamps, whatever the fuck a Hamp is, 2 Oscars, 9 airplanes in a single day. That is just crazy.
See, that's my
talk.
point. What the hell is a Hamp?
It's a type of zero. It's an A6M3.
Exactly. What the shit?
Yeah, let's go to.
But anyways,
let's see what the A6M3 is all about. Oh, it had a supercharger on it. That's what made it a Hamp and not a zero. It had a supercharger. I guess. Shit, I don't know. Yeah, the Japanese were all. The classic zero is the A6M2.
correct.
And then they had the A6M3 and the A6M4 and the A6M5. A6M6, 6AM, A6M7, M8. Yeah, that's just confusing as all dog snot. Yeah, he had their number all right, man. He saw that big red meatball on the wing or the fuselage and just tore ass up with it. Now,
hey man,
Dick Bong, if I'm not mistaken, was the winningest pilot in World War II. He also achieved Medal of Honor. Most decorated American fighter pilot and the country's top flying ace in the war, shooting down 40 Japanese aircraft in his P-38.
correct.
He died flying a Lockheed P-80. What's that?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? He gets through basically the entirety of the war through hostile combat and then dies on a test flight.
Yeah.
But anyhow, yeah.
Let's see here.
So did what was the Army Air Corps guy who the other Army Air the second most highest or second highest decorated or second highest score, excuse me. Jesus. H.
I don't remember.
I don't know. Anyhow, same thing. I'm pretty sure he didn't survive the war either, which is always sad. But yeah. What's that dude's name? I was reading.
He did not ace in
what?
He did not ace in a single day, though.
Who? Dick Bong?
Bong. Yeah. He got close.
Yeah.
He shot down 4 during July 26, 1943.
Yeah. But Thomas McGuire, there you go. Thomas McGuire. He's a dude who, again, it's also hung out with Dick Bong, also a P-38 guy, and he also flew a lot with Charles Lindbergh when Charles Lindbergh was hanging out with the Army Air Corps, showing them how to maximize the fuel efficiency of the P-38 so that it could get crazy, almost double its fuel efficiency from how Lockheed originally had it flying. But yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
Thomas
cool.
McGuire is who you're talking about? Yeah, he had 38. He had 38 kills.
There you go. I don't know what's going on. My stream keeps freezing up real bad, and it's doing the screw around with your audio thing. But yeah.
Yeah, he January 7th, 45. He took off from Leyte, led a group of 4 P-38s. Fighter sweep over the Negros Island in Central Philippines. He wanted to pass Bong's score of 40 kills.
Excuse me.
Yeah, he got he actually got killed in action.
McGuire?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. But
so yeah, it's let's see where Pappy Boynton falls on this.
he's a Marine. One of Mike's gentlemen. Or I suppose Mike might be one of his gentlemen, but yeah.
Well, considering Mike was in his squadron.
There's a good question. Do you know if the good Mr. Burke will be attending Jay's November Jubilee?
I don't I don't know. Let me see if I can find out real quick.
I'm real sad. I was hoping to design a game based on his near future short story that he got published. I don't remember where. But I cannot, for the life of me, find near future models that even remotely fit with his Marines with the third exoskeleton arm coming out the back.
Yeah.
And it's driving me nuts. I'm going to find something. It's just exceptionally hard for me to do at this point in time, and I don't know why it's that. Like, you would think that wouldn't be that weird, right? But it is not easy to find. But Mr. Burke is always a selling point wherever he's at.
Yes,
even when he says his tum's hurt and he bails on the second day of Battles and Brews.
We will not have Joel. We won't have Palmer.
Yes.
Do not have a confirmation one way or the other yet from Mr. Burke. Copeland will be there. Eric will be there. David Ackerman may or may not be there. So there you have it. November 10th, 11th, and 12th. Good times. Good times.
Absolutely. Always a good time.
All right. Pappy Boynton had how many kills? He flew for the Flying Tigers.
Accurate. He made the grass grow quite a bit, as I believe. As I understand it.
Okay. Total of 28. So there you go. He had 28 kills.
Quite ridiculously respectable. Jesus.
So, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. A little earlier than normal, but that's okay.
Nothing wrong with that. I feel like we stayed on topic pretty good.
I want to thank everybody for dropping in tonight and watching the two of us just talk about random ass shit as normal.
We stayed more on the historical / wargaming topic more than we do sometimes. I was pretty proud of us today.
Yeah, we didn't talk too much about food this time. Just warm mutts, tacos, and fish sticks.
Ever so briefly.
Yeah, so. But yeah, guys, thanks a lot. We'll be back next week. I'll have another update of what's been going on hobby-wise. Like I said, I'll probably have gotten the night combat rules done for Ocean Thunder and a little bit more done towards getting the stuff done for my Cold War project. So stay tuned on that.
All of you guys go over and check out Warmutt's painting challenge that he's doing right now. He's doing cool stuff. There's like 30 people participating. Go check it out.
Absolutely, guys.
That was my little plug.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank again, like I said, I want to thank everybody. Hopefully, we kept Reese entertained enough, and that the turkeys aren't kicking the crap out of him too bad. So, until next time. What's that?
I said they popped his tire, man.
Yeah, I mean, turkeys are a bunch of bastards. They're almost as bad as those damn gooses.
Correct.
So, American turkeys and Canadian gooses. Fuck them all. There's a reason we eat the bastards.
Accurate. Don't eat the Canadian geese. Taste god awful. Don't do it.
Yeah. A little gamey and stringy. But all right, guys. Well, until next time, we will see you on the flip side.
Bye, guys.